is Sam, and I'm from Fairygodboss. If you didn't already know, Fairygodboss is the largest career community for women. You might notice things look a little bit different today. We're here at M.M.LaFleur's showroom near Bryant Park in NYC. Today with me is Sara and Nyjerah, stylists at M.M.LaFleur. They're going to be walking us through some different styles and outfits to wear so you can nail your next interview. I'll let you guys take it away.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to, let's see, Nail That Outfit, Nail the Interview. I'm Sara. I manage the Bryant Park showroom here at M.M.LaFleur. I am Nyjerah. I am the brand stylist here at M.M.LaFleur. And just to give you guys a little bit of background about us, we are a fashion professional workwear brand, and we strive to take the work out of dressing for work. So for our customers who have better things to do than shop, we add convenience to their shopping experience by giving them the option to work one-on-one with the stylist. So in our showrooms, and then also to browse solely online, but still have the option to work with the stylist. Yes, we think you have better things to do, so we offer styling as a service. So let's see, what makes dressing for an interview different than dressing for any other day? Well, I think what's important is, even if you identify as a bit of like a fashion plate, this is not the time to highlight that necessarily. This is really a time to highlight your skills and your resume. So this is a great opportunity to take kind of the wise words from our elders. It's better to overdress. So yes, but what is similar? The commonality between dressing for any day and dressing for an interview is that you still want to feel comfortable and you want to project confidence. Yes. So just to kind of jump in, we are going to start with a few pieces that we think create the essential core products within an interview wardrobe.
Yeah, so before we get into outfitting, I think it's important that we narrow down the basic items that you need when it comes to interviewing. We like to build a capsule wardrobe, which is about 8 to 12 items that are super versatile, that are easy to mix and match, that will take you through your career. So think neutral colors, think about various silhouettes, and think about items that can take you from season to season.
Absolutely. So let's start with dresses. Super, super simple. You have a lot to think about. So I find it's easiest to just kind of narrow down. There's so many dresses. You have so much to think about before the interview for prep. So for dresses, instead of choosing from a million, think about what neckline you're drawn to most and feel most comfortable in, and also how you like the body tailored on the dress. So for example, if you are a person that for 20 years has worn an A-line dress, this is really not the time to branch out because you need to feel comfortable and you don't want to feel like you're fidgeting in your skirt. So for example, we have here the Annie dress, which has a little bit of body through the hips and flares out a bit, but not too much so that it kind of loses power. And a really deep neckline, a deep V, but still really appropriate.
And to say that Annie is machine washable, yes, which is a plus for interviewing or just like career in general. Like, who doesn't need a machine washable dress? I think it's important for any type of event or situation.
It's always a perk from a cost perspective, but also you are likely to be sweating a little bit more the day of your interview. So we've got a few pieces here, but the one that I am wearing right now is called the Asuka dress. It's part of our core collection. It's a sleeve dress, which is a little harder to come by actually. And it comes with the belt, kind of suits it up. It's a really appropriate length, but for job interviews where you don't need to be quite so suited and where you don't need to wear a blazer, this is really this is a great option for coverage and simplicity and just choosing that one piece. Which
it's already put together. I think like if you have 5 minutes and you need to run out the door, this is a dress that you grab. The Asuka is just already put together. It's like a one and done type of outfit. And I think that's super important when you have a ton of interviews. So you need to kind of have those items you can just grab. So, and I feel like the Asuka dress does it really well.
And especially with jobs where you're gonna have multiple interviews, it's nice to have that kind of in the arsenal.
So next we have a blouse. So of course, like what is the perfect blazer without a blouse? So again, just like your dresses, you want to make sure that you're playing around with necklines here. So we opt for, maybe you want to have like at least 3 different tops you can play around with. So maybe it's a V-neck, maybe it's a mock neck, or maybe it's something like that has like a boat neck. So we love something like this, our cow neckline, which is one of our perfect and our most popular pieces here. This is the rowling top. It comes in a ton of colors. It's machine washable. It's easy to put underneath the blazer. It's easy to wear on its own. It's easy to tuck. And we all know that when you're going for an interview, you need to make sure you look super polished. So tucking is important here. You want to make sure you get a top that's easy to tuck.
And also, I think worth noting is if you are in a room where you feel like it's appropriate to remove the blazer, this still gives you a little bit of a cap sleeve, so you get that coverage, because you don't want to go in, take off the jacket, and be in just a basic tank top.
And just like necklines, how they're super important, your sleeves also are important. So you want to make sure you have like a sleeveless option or short sleeve and a long sleeve option. One of our popular tops here is the Lagarde. It's a natural button up. It is machine washable as well. It gives you like a silk-like type of fabrication, which is really nice. It's easy to dress up and down. You don't necessarily always have to button up the collar to look super professional for an interview. You can leave a few buttons undone. That's super appropriate.
Quick question, sorry to jump in here. Which question from the audience? Can you just say the name of the blue top and where they can get that again?
So this is the rowling top. Every piece that you see here today, you can get from M.M.LaFleur.com. So you'll see all those here will be our brand.
We've got it in a few gem colors these days, but also we have it always stocked in black and a little bit of like an off-white. And what's nice about the off-white is that it has some extra lining, so you're gonna be pretty safe with whatever color you're wearing.
It's our most popular top. It's easy to wear. It's machine washable. We all love a machine washable top. It's just easy for your work day.
And if you're not a tucker, it's not too long, so it's not gonna hit too low. Okay, so you have a top. You need something to wear on the bottom. We have pants. So what I'm going to say first about pants is you want to make sure that you're working with a material that's not going to wrinkle and that's not going to be a lint trap, because I very distinctly remember moving to New York City, finding myself on New Jersey Transit, and I was covered in lint and my pants were so wrinkled right here. And oftentimes you're going from plane to interview, even your car to interview. So that's first things first. Then if you're dealing with a suit, you want to make sure that your fabrications are matching, obviously, especially in a conservative environment. And also, this is kind of one of those pieces that you're going to want to get first, because if you're doing a longer silhouette, you're going to want to make sure that it is tailored to your shoe, because it's very infrequent that somebody can pick something off the rack and it's good to go. You want to know if you're wearing flats or if you're wearing heels, how long it's going to be good.
Yeah. So what I like to remember is when you're doing a longer pant like the Jimmy here, I always say the longer the pant, the longer the heel or the higher the heel. So you want to make sure that you give yourself enough height, and you add that balance to an outfit. So whenever you're doing long pants, you want to do a higher heel to kind of complement that pant.
But what's really easy for flats and for heels is kind of a contemporary tapered work pant. Easy on petites, great on a longer silhouette. Very, very easy to hem should you need to, but also it's just appropriate for any kind of work environment.
Yeah, 100%. And machine washable.
True. Our top pool is machine washable.
Okay, so now we have the top and now we have the bottom. What you need is a statement piece, which is the blazer. So definitely want to find your fit here. Everyone loves like different type of blazers. I love something with a lapel that's super casual, that has a little bit of personality to it. I really love this blazer here. It's called the Tamar blazer, and it's super chic. It's double-breasted. It's just the blazer that you need. I would say start with neutral colors. That way you can mix and match what items that you already own. So think about navy, gray, black. Things like that are something that you're going to get a lot of use out of.
Absolutely. And the Tamar blazer with the double-breasted look and that longer silhouette, definitely not where you're going to be showing up for if you're at a financial institution going for amongst like a more traditional crew of people, so you want to kind of play it a little bit safer.
Yeah, so speaking of safer, more for business formal, I would say go for more of a tropical wool. So this is our tropical wool, which means that it's machine washable and it's great for suiting purposes, but it's also great for business formal attire as well. This is like the most traditional blazer that you can own. So you do kind of want to start off with something that's more traditional, like the moss blazer here.
And what's nice is too, the way that these fit through the back, just kind of to highlight, I was noticing while Nyjerah was holding it up, these are really tapered in and very flattering to the female form, unlike a lot of blazers of years past. You know, my mother had many. Great, so we really just threw a lot of words at you, so we thought it might be helpful to invite some of our friends to try things on. We are going to break it down by type of interview, business formal, business casual, creative casual, and we are going to start with business formal, which is honestly one of my favorites to help somebody dress for, because there are so many rules. It really helps you narrow down quickly. So we're going to start with Darby. Darby, if you can join. So Darby is wearing one of my favorite dresses. It's the Lydia dress. A really appropriate boat neck, definitely tapered through the body, but also has a lot of seaming in that kind of goes with natural curves. So it's not too tight, because bodycon is certainly something you want to avoid regardless of the type of interview. And it's a nice matte fabric that matches well with the wool cardigan, which if you have ever heard of M.M.LaFleur, you have probably heard the word cardigan, which is a mixture of the word jacket and cardigan. It's got a really nice stretch to it. Also, it's virtually wrinkle-free. It's the kind of thing you can throw in your bag, you can pull it out, and it's good to go. Comes with removable shoulder pads too, so if you want a little bit more of that lift, if you need that power shoulder, that is an option, but also we remove a lot of shoulder pads here. Yeah, so even though it is kind of in a cardigan, like fabric, and it kind of mimics that comfort, the structure of it and the way that it holds its shape has still the same power of a traditional blazer. Another way to kind of suit it up is you can always put a belt in the center. You'll see that it's a really nice, appropriate, longer length. So it's, once she sits down, it's not gonna creep too far up the leg.
And to mention, just like we said in our essential section, when you're doing something a little longer, you kind of want to add height. So you can't see right now, but Darby is wearing one of our higher heels called the Ginger Pop, and it complements her outfit really well because it's a little bit of a longer length for her.
Absolutely, and worth noting, because I got this question a ton, this dress also does come in a navy, in a darker blue. We here at M.M.LaFleur love mixing black and blue, but I think that there is still that sort of old school thought process where you should not mix the two because you look like a bruise, is what I have heard. So if you have any hesitation, if you think that you could be sitting across from a man in his, you know, navy suit, brown shoes, really traditional, if you have any reservations about pairing those two colors, just don't, because you don't want your mind to be on what you're wearing. Yeah.
But black and navy is M.M. approved. Yeah. Sarah is wearing black and navy right now, and it is very chic ensemble. I think is the chicest thing that you can wear. That's just my go-to in my opinion, but I think black and blue work really well together.
We think it's very French, and who doesn't want to look a little bit French?
Thank you, Darby. So next we have Martina. So Martina is in more of a traditional type of buttoned-up look for business formal. She is wearing our Ross blazer here in light gray with our matching skirt here in the called the cobble heel skirt. Underneath, we do have like more of a monochromatic look here, and she's wearing our peggy top in our flat gray color, which is really new for us. I think if you want add a little personality to your business formal, not make it so buttoned up, color is where you do so. The color gray is super business formal, and it's like appropriate for this dress code. So I say play around with those neutral colors that you have. This suit is machine washable. I really like to play around with the lapel here. So notice how she's wearing a V neckline because the lapels kind of go inward. So I kind of like to make sure it's parallel underneath as well.
And also another question I get a lot in appointments is, because we've been seeing a ton of people looking for suiting for interviews, is do I need to button this? From what I've heard, no. So you really want it to fit nicely through the shoulders. I think that that's really the key of finding a suit jacket that fits well. But so rarely are you going to find yourself buttoning it. So really look for a nice fit in the shoulders and through the back.
I also wanted to mention her jewelry as well. Something like that, you want to make sure it's settled. You don't want to have statement jewelry where it's though that's the only thing they're looking at. So right now she's wearing our single bezel set in silver to complement the gray tones in the outfit as well. And notice how she has a pendant as well that kind of complements the neckline. That goes without saying. I really just love like making sure that the neckline has a pendant to sit within it because it complements the neckline really well.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the name of the jacket?
This is the Ross blazer in light gray.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So, business casual.
Yes, so as we know, business casual is forever changing. It's one of those dress codes that are the most subjective, honestly. I think you should always do your research with the company you're interviewing for before you actually interview. It is important to be aware of the expectations when it comes to business formal because it's such a tricky dress code. So we want to make sure that we're really like on our P's and Q's when it comes to this dress code in particular.
And again, better to be overdressed or have a piece that you can take off to look a little bit more casual if need be. Great, so we are going to start with Simone. So Simone is wearing the Lagarde top, which we mentioned earlier. I love this top because it mimics silk without being fussy like silk. It's got the nice concealed buttons and like lovely little hardware. It's got these gold accents that really just kind of elevate the piece. We have it buttoned up because we think it's a little bit more playful. I really like it with the top knot, but also you can unbutton one or two. Also, worth noting, as somebody who's a little bit bustier, this also has a secret button in the center that makes it so you're not going to have the gapping, gaping issue right at the chest. We have it paired with the NoHo skirt, which is one of our original skirts, and we have it in a print. I would avoid prints for business formal, but you get a little bit more personality. You can have a little bit more personality in a business casual workplace. You're still adding a little bit formality by adding some extra hardware, kind of suiting it up a little bit. And as you can see with how Simone's arms are at the moment, she is passing the fingertip test, really taking me back to high school here. The skirt length exceeds her fingertips, so we are in that appropriate range because again, we just don't want to get too short. I want to avoid that.
And as we mentioned before, height is important here, and because she has a shorter length skirt here, we are definitely making sure it's complemented with a shorter heel. So she has a Lillian here in navy. You can also wear this with black too, but I love to add a pop of color, especially for business casual. That's the time when you kind of have you can be a little bit more flexible as opposed to like business formal. So you can have a little bit more fun and add little pops of color, maybe some subtle prints, things like that are really important too.
Yeah, and this is the kind of look also. I like a skirt that's a little bit above the knee, especially in colder weather months. Winter is like suddenly arrived here in New York City today. I think snow is on the horizon. This is the kind of look that also with like a semi-opaque tight and a pair of ankle boots really will work nicely.
Pan down. Somebody just wants to see the shoes really quick.
Totally.
Thank
so
you.
Notice she has a lower heel just to complement the length of the skirt here. We always say the shorter the length, the shorter the heel as well. Thank you, Simone. So next we have Sam here. She's in a little bit more of like a business formal type of approach, business casual. When it comes to business casual, I still like to be buttoned up, but I like to do a different take on buttoned up. So Sam here has a deconstructed suit, so it's not matchy here. So she has a black Carson blazer on with the ink Lahia pants that are in our sharkskin fabrication. This one just reads a little bit more casual, has a little bit more personality. And another thing I really love to do is mix textures. So when it comes to business casual, I like to marry both formalities. So business formal with creative casual, it just adds like a beautiful mix. And so Sam has one of our knitted tops called the Celeste. It's a new shape for us, but it complements both the jacket and the pant really well.
And also, this is the kind of piece, I love this blazer. I love the fabrication of it. It's in this light twill that feels like the most elegant pajamas you can encounter. It's also, if you have a casual Friday sort of workplace, this is the kind of thing that can also work really nicely with jeans and boots. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. Great. And then there is, last but not least, creative casual. Now, this is definitely the kind of name that some people go, wait, what? Because it's certainly newer. When you think creative casual, it's tech, it's a startup environment, it's a media company, it's the kind of place where you can wear jeans more days than just a Friday. And we definitely have seen this field growing. And what's nice is you also get more bang for your buck, because there are pieces inherently that you're gonna get tons of mileage out of, because they're gonna transition really effortlessly into your life outside of work, which needs to be valued as well.
Right.
Great, so we're gonna start with Darby. Darby is wearing the Doris dress. This is kind of, do you mind if I deconstruct you a little? So Darby is currently wearing the Doris dress with the wolf jargon in our taupe color, and she's topped it off with the crossover belt, which always adds really a lot of visual interest and texture, which is so much fun to play with. Because with creative casual, you can really play with shapes and silhouettes and things like texture. You can stand out a little bit more. So this is also the kind of piece that you can wear if you're in a significantly more casual office. If you take off the wolf, thank you, Darby. So Darby is fortunate enough to be a little bit on the taller side, so she truthfully can wear this dress without a belt if chosen, and then she can do kind of a longer necklace to kind of add some visual interest. This is a midi-length dress, definitely a little bit more contemporary, but for us shorter people or people who just want to add a little bit more of a waist, she can pair it with a crossover belt and just create a little bit more of an hourglass silhouette. This piece is also machine washable, has pockets, the kind of thing that you can also wear with a denim jacket and some sneakers.
100%, and that's like my go-to attire for the weekend, or even just workwear in general. You kind of want to get great use out of it, and make sure that it takes you during the long run. So you want to wear it to work. You also want to wear it on the weekend as well. And I feel like the Doris dress does just that, because you can easily wear it with sneakers. You can't see her shoes now, but she is wearing a bootie. So creative casual is also something where you can introduce like something different in your heel or your shoe selection in general. These are Alana booties. They're super chic. They're super like fashion forward, and you can dress it down, you can dress it up. So when it comes to creative casual, play around with shapes and silhouettes definitely.
Great. Thank you so much, Darby.
So next we have Cartina here. Cartina, again, like we said, creative casual is something where so you can play with shapes and you can play with different silhouettes. So she's in our Ismelka top with our Jokulas, which you see me wearing the entire time here. Both are machine washable, they're easy, they add movement to your workday. So for something that could be super stressful and nerve-wracking like an interview, this kind of adds ease and kind of makes you comfortable. So you definitely want to be comfortable during your interview here. And notice in the back of Cartina, she has a little bit of a drape here. So this kind of moves around with her as she's like walking out the door after she nailed the interview. If she knows it, that's something that she'll remember, or just anyone that's interviewing her that day will remember as well.
This is certainly a more commanding look. I come in at 5'3". I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for me. If I were to wear this piece, I would probably gravitate towards one or the other, because you want to do a little bit more balance. I would do a skinnier leg pant, or these pants, which truthfully I get more use out of than anything in my closet. We fought over who was going to wear them today. This is the kind of thing with a really basic kind of underpinning like we discussed earlier. Works really nicely with the wolf jardigan, or you can do it with a top with an interesting sleeve tucked in.
She doesn't have a tuck, but this is a top that can be tucked with like a high-waisted item. The Joe Kulak is a high waist and it's easy to tuck items into, so you can definitely wear this tuck if need be. But I like to encourage people to play around with shapes and different silhouettes. You don't necessarily have to be tailored all the time, you know, or it doesn't have to be fitted to the body. You can definitely play around with shape and just kind of add movement to your workday and be playful. And I think that Cartina does it really well with this Ismama top. Thank you.
All right. So I think if anybody has any questions.
Hi. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm popping back in. We had a lot of questions come through right now that I see. So keep leaving them in the chat. But in the meantime, can you guys touch on pairing tights and stockings with dresses? Is black okay in the winter? What are options for the summer? A lot of people want to know how to navigate that.
Absolutely. I have a lot of opinions about tights.
Yeah, too. I do too. I love to wear tights with something that's a little bit shifty. Yeah. So like our Emily dress, which I don't have out right now, or something like our Sarah, it's like off the body. I love to wear tights with something like this with a booty. I think that's a go-to all the time. But I know our clients come in and like, I don't wear booties and I don't like a shift dress. What else do I do? So you can definitely wear it with pumps, you know, things like that. There are endless options when it comes to tights and shoes. I think wearing them for the winter is super okay. I always like to tell people to go more sheer side instead of something that's a little bit more darker, because you definitely want to make sure that the dress or the outfit that you're wearing is more of a statement and the tights don't overpower you.
Yeah, I used to be a huge fan of opaque tights. I kind of steered away from that. It's just a little overly youthful. So I really kind of stayed true to the semi-opaque and in black, honestly.
Yeah.
I would do in that kind of, like, for example, the Sarah dress comes in a bunch of beautiful gemstone colors in our newest collection. I would do something like that with a black jacket, black tight, black shoes. Keep it simple. Especially for winter, it's the time to kind of, you can do a pop of color, but you really need that practical shoe. Typically we find that they are black. Yeah, we have also, I'm a huge proponent of the belt. So I'm a big fan, we carry commando tights on the site. I'm a big fan of their semi-opaque style. It doesn't do any of that digging in, but if you do have tights that kind of dig in, which we're human beings, there's usually a little bit of extra here, that's a great place for your belt to go. Yeah. Have it match up.
Okay, next question has to do with colors. We had a lot of people asking, is it okay to wear orange colors or colors that match my skin tone? I think the overall question here is, are any colors off limits for interviews?
Avoid orange and black. I'm very against that Halloween-y look, but I love an orange with something like a gray. I think that that's a gorgeous pair. Orange and navy actually is also stunning. A little bit harder for the shoe, a little bit more work in that respect.
Honestly, I would say the safest colors to go with when you're interviewing are neutral colors. So think white, navy, gray, black. And I'm not saying that you can't wear pops of color, because obviously we have this beautiful bronze here in our lease top. This goes great with like gray to make it kind of more of a toned down version of an outfit. Of course you can add pops of color, but I think it's the company you'll be interviewing for. So make sure you do research on that company, because if you're doing something that's more of a creative field, I think color is totally fine. But if you're doing something that's more business formal, you kind of want to tread lightly and make sure that you're doing more neutral colors. So it depends on the company you're actually interviewing for, to be honest.
But I was styling somebody on Saturday night for an interview she had yesterday. I hope it went well. And we had her in a lot of black and white because it was a very ultra conservative job. And we were joking that she just really looks like a cop, which is fine, but she was not interviewing for that job. So we were really trying to find colors that were going to work, and we opted for a gray with a little bit of like a toned down color underneath.
Awesome. Okay, one final question before we wrap up.
Mhm.
Can you guys recommend a few on-trend accessories that are safe even for the most formal of interviews?
Yeah. I love, let's see, on-trend accessories. For the most formal of interviews, I think one of the keys is you don't want to go too costumey. It's kind of funny, I had somebody I was working with dressing for an interview recently who was like, I just need everything to look kind of expensive. So you want to make sure that your jewelry doesn't look too fast fashion. I think it's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, definitely. I guess my go-to accessory is definitely like, when in doubt, belt. I think having a very like clean or maybe a statement belt like our BB belt, which I don't have here, but it is the statement belt that you need to amp up any outfit. I think if you have a belt, it kind of amps up any and every look. So if you have a dress that's a little bit more shifty, belt it, and then you define your waist a little bit more and it just looks neat and polished. I think that belts are a good investment to have.
Yeah, and we have a lot of options that actually they close in the back. I had that belt on Darby earlier. So it closes in the back so you're not kind of competing with any hardware, any like brass, gold, silver. Another piece, I'm kind of like hesitant to go up, but I recently invested on these from the company because I adore hoops, but I really wanted something that wasn't too over the top, but just kind of a little hoop, which is understated, but goes with everything, and it's still kind of a more contemporary shape, a little kind of fatter at the bottom.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who joined us here today. I hope you learned something and you're going to nail your next interview. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.